Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. You are watching YouTube channel and Facebook channel of Professor Dr. Rizwan Jamil Qureshi, and I am covering Software Economics course lecture number 9. So we are discussing main contents of project introduction document, and we have history, how the current system is running at the customer side. It could be manual, it could be automated, and what are the main problems of the current system. And then we define the scope of new system. Under the scope, we have to define statement of scope, that how the new system will solve the problems of the current system. And then we define the context of the new system, mean how the new system is going to plug what are the existing systems running at the customer side. For example, in Saudi Arabia, we don't have Grindless Bank, Standard Chartered Bank. And if the Standard Chartered Bank management or Grindless Bank management wants branches in Saudi Arabia, in Saudi Arabia, we have MADA, and this MADA enables the users, the customers, to use any of the bank's machine. For example, I am the account holder of Samba. I can use Bank of Riyadh or Al Raji or ANB or any bank which are operating in the Saudi Arabia. So existing MADA, existing network, is the context for the ATM system of Standard Chartered Bank or Grindless Bank. So that's the context for the new system. What are the existing systems running at the customer side, and how the new system is going to integrate with the existing system. After this, under the context, we have to define what are the constraints regarding the integration. What are the constraints regarding the integration? When we want to integrate the new system with the existing systems, we face integration constraints. We could face architectural constraints, configuration constraints, language constraints, operating system constraints, specification constraints, protocol constraints. These are the constraints we need to consider. And many systems failed because of the integration constraints. So we have to consider all possible constraints, and we have to mention in the context of the new system. Once we want to integrate the new system with the existing systems, like I gave you example of Standard Chartered Bank and Grindless Bank, they are not operating in Saudi Arabia. If any of the bank management wants to open branches in Saudi Arabia, so they have to introduce their ATM system. And already in the kingdom, we have MADA, one link system. In Pakistan, we call it one link system. Here we call it MADA. So the new system of Standard Chartered Bank or Grindless Bank has to integrate with the MADA. Once we want to integrate, we face some constraints, limitations. For example, architectural constraint, configuration constraint. We have to configure protocols, specifications, language, operating system, social constraints. These all we need to consider in the integration, and we will mention in the context of the new system. Then we will write the main inputs and outputs of the new system, that what are the main inputs and outputs of the new system. Then we will write main functions of the new system, main modules. We will write main functions or main modules of the new system. For example, Hotmail, inbox, junk, compose, send message, trash. Or for example, Office, we have file menu, home menu. Now we have edit menu, insert, design, transition, animation, slideshow, review, view. The menu bar is there. And under each software, you will find the menu bar. And in the menu bar, you have the main functions of the new system. Like ATM, you have to withdraw money, transfer cash, deposit money, pay bill, check balance. These are the main functions of ATM system. Card authentication, PIN authentication, print receipt. So main functions are there, main modules are there in the ATM. Similarly, in Hotmail, in Yahoo, in Gmail, you have main functions. So you will write main modules or main functions of the new system under the scope. So that's about the scope, statement of scope, how the new system is going to solve the problems of current system. Then what is the context of the new system? What are the existing systems running at the customer side? And what are the integration constraints regarding the integration of new system with the existing system so it can work as one system, as a part of that one link system or part of MADA, or like ERP system, it's a collection of integrated systems. So enter in information in one system accessible to all and vice versa. So like I gave you example, one of the software companies in Pakistan, they want to integrate their software with the ATM system to add extra functionalities for the bank. So as a standalone, that system works well, but after integration, it doesn't import and export the data. So that is logical error, and that company failed to integrate their software with the existing ATM network, and then they have to pay the losses, they have to pay the penalty to the bank, and reputation also affected. They found it very difficult to get new projects. So that's because of integration they failed. Then main inputs, outputs of new system, main modules, main functions of the new system, and then you have functional decomposition. What is the meaning of functional decomposition? It is called divide and conquer approach. We also call it stepwise refinement. So we divide the main functions into sub-functions. For example, in case of structured development, we use hierarchical chart. So we divide the main functions into smaller functions up to that level that we cannot divide it further. Like organizational charts, like King Abdulaziz University has president, vice presidents, dean, vice deans, chairman, IT chairman, CS, and so on. 140 departments are there. So that's functional decomposition. In case of object-oriented, we have use case diagram and we have use case description. So use case diagram, we don't divide the use case into smaller use cases like data flow diagrams or like the hierarchical chart, but we have use case description. So in the use case description, we show that these are the main actors, these are the main functionalities. So we show the functional decomposition at the use case description level using the use case diagram. That is the project introduction document of project specs. Next content of project specs is feasibility assessments. What are the main type of feasibilities? There are 4 main type of feasibilities you must need to consider: economic, technical, operational, schedule. Under the economic, how many type of feasibilities we need to consider? What we need to consider under the economic feasibility? We need to consider what are the main benefits of the project and how much it is the budget of the project cost, and estimating project benefits. How many type of benefits we have? How many type of benefits we need to calculate? Faida, tangible and intangible. So we have tangible and we have intangible. Tangible and intangible, what's the difference between them? Tangible, which can directly be estimated in monetary values, whereas intangible cannot directly be measured in monetary values. in follows. For example, what are the tangible benefits? We have cost reduction. So tangible benefits like cost reduction, error reduction, opening new market, sale opportunities, better management planning and control. Let me give you some examples of cost reduction. Tangible benefits should save cost, should improve productivity, should cut down overtime, resources should be reduced. So let me give you an example of cost reduction and then we can discuss another example. For example, ATM system. Before ATM system, bank needs lot of employees to deal with the customers and there are many people at the cash counter to give the token number and then another guy to receive the check, then another guy to verify. So more customers, more people at the cash counter, more cash counters you need to open. So you need 20, 30, 40 employees to deal with the customers. Whereas after ATM system, most of the customers don't go to the bank to withdraw money. They go to the ATM system, like including me. I go to ATM to withdraw money. I rarely go to the bank. Now, if you go to the bank, you will find 2 or 3 counters and 4 or 5 persons involved in the cash to collect cash, deposit and the withdraw. Now, if you calculate the salary of one employee, for example, 15 to 20 employees were involved before ATM, now you need 4 or 5 employees. So you cut down 15 employees from the cash system. So per hour salary of each employee, per day salary, per month salary, per year salary, multiplied by 15 or 20 persons. That is the cost reduction by the bank. So you can calculate for how many employees you reduce after implementing the new system and what is per hour salary, per day salary, per month salary, per year salary, how much is the saving. Then another example, I already discussed the General Electric company in America. They have diesel engine, their product, which is very popular product, and America has 50 states. So they have a senior engineer. His name was David I. Smith. He was working with the General Electric for 40 years and his salary was $150,000 approximately per month. Plus, the customers have to wait for 2 months, 3 months that he will visit our state and our engine will be fixed, will be repaired. Then traveling allowance, traveling expenses to travel, daily expenses, the TA, DA, daily allowance, traveling allowance, hoteling expenses, food expenses, phone expenses. So approximately $250,000 to $300,000. That is 150,000 to 300. That is the range per month General Electric was spending. And for example, Texas is a very big state of USA. So after 40 years of service to the General Electric, he wants to retire because his health issues started because of so much travel and he was always away from his family. So he was old enough. So he said, thank you very much. This is my 3-month notice. I want to leave. Then General Electric asked him to transfer all of his knowledge into a system and they started a project called Delta. So after 5 years of working with General Electric to transfer his knowledge, all of his knowledge was transferred into the Delta project. It was an expert system. And then they installed Delta on all service centers of General Electric company. Now within 2 to 3 days, engines will be fixed, customers are happy, plus David I. Smith's salary, $300,000 per month, multiply by 12. How much is the saving of General Electric because of Delta system? That is the cost reduction, second example. Then, for example, Honda Company. Honda Company in Pakistan, they have two plants. One is the car plant, other is the motorbike plant. And I am giving you example of motorbike plant. They have now motorbike plant fully automated. And previously they need lot of employees to assemble the motorbike. It's assembling plant. They have vendors supply them parts, and then they integrate on the assembly line, over the assembly line. Now they have automated plant, and only one person needs to start the plant and shut down the plant. So that's, for example, previously they have 40-50 employees at one assembly line. So they have 4 assembly lines or 3 assembly lines. 50 multiplied by 200 or 40 multiplied by 5 assembly lines, 3 assembly lines. So per hour salary of each employee, how much employees cut down because of automation per month, per year, that is the cost reduction. So I gave you 3 examples in which, because of the new system, customers' cost is reduced. Now I will move to the error reduction. Another example, another tangible benefit because of the new system. When you have manual production, manual system, you will do lot of mistakes. For example, my personal experience. I purchased a motorbike from one of the leasing company, Takseed company in Pakistan. It's a very well-known company, multinational company. Its name is Oryx Leasing. It was 1 year contract, and company asked me to pay advance checks of 1 year. So each month they can withdraw money. So I gave them 12 checks. After 1 year, I went to the Oryx Leasing company that my payment is completed, contract is completed. Please transfer the vehicle to my name. Then the help desk or the front desk or the marketing guy, the sales guy, asked me after checking his system that your 2 checks are bounced. Now you have to pay penalty because you did not pay 2 checks, the last 2 checks. I told him that every month I was depositing, and your company withdrew that money. He said no. And after some conversation, he asked me, okay, you go to the bank and bring the bank statement. Go to your bank and bring the bank statement. I say, okay. It was very far from my office, from my university where I was teaching. So I went to the bank. I took the bank statement of last 1 year. Then I went to the leasing company again, and I showed him the bank statement. Then after checking the check numbers into the system, he said, sorry, our guy, data entry operator, mistakenly entered 2 checks, your 2 checks, last 2 checks, in some other customer's account. So because of that, there was a mistake, there was error. So sorry for that. Now, my time was wasted, bank time was wasted, and Oryx Leasing company employee time was also wasted because of one data entry mistake. If they have automated system, integrated system, that leasing company system integrated with the bank system, then automatically it should be transferred to my account. So because of manual system, they suffered this. So this is error. Such errors will be reduced after having the information system integration. Second example, in King Abdulaziz University and in my previous university, we still have manual scheduling system, copy paste, manual registration system. I remember the guy who was responsible to register the students in the new semester. There were long queues of students in the University of Lahore, where I was teaching in 2001 to 2005. Long queues because of the conflicts of the courses, and instructors also suffer that, and because same classroom is allocated to 2 or 3 instructors of different departments, and then instructors' time was wasted. The guy who is responsible to handle the conflicts registration, his time was also wasted, student time was also wasted. That is because of manual system. So errors are there. Similarly, once you do manual production, lot of defects are there. Customers will report to you. So most of the factories where they have manual, they have defect cell, defect department, and you will find lot of defective parts there. So in automation, there are less errors, less defects, and your because of that your cost is reduced, because you don't need to replace the parts, damaged parts or defective parts with the new parts. So in this way, automation or information system will always help you to reduce the errors. So I gave you manual errors. So these are the different 3 examples I gave you for error reduction. You can calculate how much because of error reduction your cost is saved. So per day or per month and per year, for manual to automation, how much your cost is saved. So that is also a tangible benefit. Opening new market is the main tangible benefit. For example, Amazon. Amazon was one of the bookshops in USA in the car garage. Even next street doesn't know that there is a bookshop, and the first product was books. You can purchase books from Amazon. I am talking about 2001, 2002, 2003. Then Amazon started electronics with the books, second item. Then cosmetics, then sports dresses, sports shoes, sports equipments, and then so on. Now Amazon is a supermarket. You can purchase A to Z, any item from Amazon. Like now you have Alibaba, AliExpress.com. So it's because of the information system, you have new markets, new market trends you can capture. So that is how much, because of that, you have better market opportunities and sale opportunities. For example, because it was bookshop and the car garage, after the website www.amazon.com, they have 24-hour business. Like in America, when they have day, we have night. When America has night, we have day in Asia, second world, third world countries, Asian countries. So Amazon can have 24-hour business, 7 days a week, no weekend, no holiday, no Christmas, no Eid, no Chinese day. There is more sale opportunities, 24-hour business is there. So now you have eBay, AliExpress, Amazon, and there are so many e-commerce websites are there. So better opportunities are there because of the information system. Then the 5th main tangible benefit, better management, planning and control. As we discussed, we have long-term planning, we have short-term planning, we have operational or day-to-day planning. Because of the information system, you can track your projects. You can track your long-term plan, your short-term plan, your operational or day-to-day plan, and you can control them. For example, now you have office management systems that the boss or the head or the president or the chief executive or top manager, they can see even the screens of their employees, that what your employees are doing. They are doing office work, or they are reading newspapers or chatting or playing network games or using Facebook or YouTube, watching videos. So you can monitor the desktop. So you have desktop monitoring systems, and because of that your productivity will increase. How much your productivity will increase because of the office information system, you can calculate in monetary values. Another example, there is an American company, like in Saudi Arabia we have Aramco. In America we have a company, its name is Conoco. Conoco is like Aramco, it's a subsidiary or the another name of Conoco in Saudi Arabia. Here we call it Aramco. Otherwise its name is Conoco. Conoco is the largest oil refinery company in the world. They have an ERP system which has 75 applications which are integrated for top management, for middle management, for lower management. And the top management is sitting in USA. So from sitting in USA, they have more than 6,000 users. By sitting in USA, they can monitor all projects all over the world in the Gulf, in, for example, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, Oman, Iraq, Libya, for all over the world where they have their projects, they can monitor by sitting there from USA. So you don't need to travel. So traveling allowances, traveling expenses are saved. So you can track your projects, you can monitor your projects, you can assign tasks, you can track activities. So it's all, you can control them. By sitting in USA, sitting at your office, you don't need to physically travel and go to that sites and check everything because all information is there. Like Pepsi company, Unilever, Nestle, they have continental managers, international managers, and each country they have country managers. Like Pepsi, their head office is in America, so Pepsi is operating in so many countries in the world. So each country manager will send a report to the international manager sitting in the head office in USA. By sharp 10 a.m., reports from all over the world should be on his table, and then he can take decisions by sitting there. Doesn't travel to all countries. Same is the Unilever. Like I gave you example, 7-Up in Pakistan, they have sale better than Pepsi, and Pepsi introduced their team cold drink, but team cannot get close to the 7-Up sale. So finally at a stage, they merge, they purchase the 7-Up and they demolish the plant of 7-Up in my country, in Pakistan, and they start filling the 7-Up from the same plant where the team was filling, and now they ask their customer, now you drink 7-Up. Actually, customers are drinking team. So that's one way to increase your productivity. How they know? By their sale report and by the decision of international manager sitting in USA. Similarly, another example, Lux, and there was a soap, Rexona, Sabun. Rexona's sale was very high, and Lux was not able to get close to the sale of Rexona. So the sale was very low. Finally, the continental manager, international manager decided to merge Rexona, and then they dump all Rexona from the market. They collected and dump it, trash it. And then they remove their competitor, they merge it. Like swimming with the sharks, they caught the fish and eat it. And there is no more Rexona, now there is a Lux, and automatically Lux sale is increased. That is second example, how much your sale will be increased, opportunities you will create by using the information systems. The third example, in Pakistan, we have Glaxo Wellcome. Glaxo Wellcome is a UK based company, and they have a product, its name was glucose. Glucose was like to increase your sugar level, especially Pakistan is the agriculture country, so there is rural areas where farmers are there, so because of the hot weather, their sugar level goes down. To increase their sugar level, they use glucose product and they mix it in water to increase their sugar level and their water level. So there was competitor Unilever. Unilever finally purchased glucose by some using tactics of the market, and now it's the product of Unilever, no more Glaxo Wellcome. So I gave you examples, 3 examples of better management planning and control. You can do long-term planning, short-term planning, day-to-day planning by using the information system. and how much your cost is saved in terms of overtime, staff, and resources. Then you have intangible benefits, which cannot be directly monitored in monetary values. Intangible benefits, you cannot calculate in dollar or real or Pakistani rupee, Indian rupee. For example, efficiency, performance, quality, employees' morale, company goodwill. So by using the information system, automatically the employees' efficiency is increased. They don't have direct impact on the project, but they have indirect impact on the project to increase the productivity, to increase the sale. So they have impact on tangible benefits to improve them. So efficiency because of information system. For example, you have automation. Once you have automation, then manual production. Honda manufacturing plant, their production rate is 5,000 motorbikes per day, because 3 to 5 minutes motorbike is ready from the assembly line. So productivity is increased because of automation, and they have 3 assembly lines. So for example, 5,000 motorbikes per day from one plant, so they have 3 or 4 plants. So for example, 15,000 motorbikes per day or 20,000 motorbikes per day. So that's tangible. But efficiency and performance of the employees are increased because of the information system. They can do better performance having the information system as compared to the manual data entry systems or manual production, manual assembling. And because of that, quality is improved. Once you have information systems, your quality will be improved. You have automation systems, your quality will improve. You have less errors, less defective parts, and your brand name, your quality name will be there, like Unilever, Nestle, Almarai, HP, Microsoft, Google. So brand name is there. Because of that, any new product from Almarai, Unilever, Nestle, its sale will increase because quality is there. People consider the quality. For example, Samsung quality is high as compared to other mobile phones. iPhone quality is high as compared to the other mobile phones. So iPhone and the Samsung are the market leaders in the mobile market because of the quality. Dell quality, HP quality. So HP second largest manufacturer after the IBM, and IBM when sold their hardware computer manufacturing plant to Lenovo. So then Lenovo is the number one, and then HP is the number two, because HP merged a Compaq company, and Compaq purchased DEC company. DEC was the Digital Equipment Corporation. Compaq was the second largest after the IBM. When HP purchased Compaq, HP becomes the second largest manufacturer of the computers. So quality does matter, and customers consider the quality. So because of the quality, your sale is increased. Quality is intangible, but it will increase your sale, it will increase your market opportunities. Okay, thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.